Good morning. This is Justin Sorensen with the Justin Sorensen Allstate Agency. Just want to touch base on another item that pops up frequently that we hear questions about, and that is about rental car reimbursement coverage. So what rental car reimbursement coverage is if your car is affected by a covered claim. So let's say, for example, if your car goes in the shop because of an accident or you hit a deer or hail damage, all those types of things that are going to be covered by either your collision or comprehensive coverage. It takes your car out of commission for a given period of time. There is optional coverage to be able to have on your policy to cover a rental car during that time period. And so we'll typically refer to that as rental car reimbursement coverage. When you look at it on your declaration page, it's going to say rental reimbursement. The page that I have pulled up here on my screen is just off the Allstate website. If you do a search for rental car reimbursement, it goes through and talks about some of the different aspects of that coverage. But basically, if your car was to go in the shop because of a covered claim, would you need a rental car to be able to get around? If so, you definitely want to have rental car reimbursement coverage on your policy. Pretty inexpensive coverage for what you get for it, again, especially if you have that need. So the way it works is once the car goes in the shop, typically, if you work with a provider that has an agreement with the insurance company, in the case of Allstate, that's with Enterprise, they just take care of direct billing right with the rental car company, so you don't have to worry about paying anything. If you happen to choose a different rental car provider that the insurance company doesn't have an agreement with, they'll just do it on a reimbursement basis. So if you went with somebody other than Enterprise here in Muncie specifically, you would still be able to have those costs covered. It would just be done on a reimbursement basis rather than just being paid directly to the provider by Allstate. There's no deductible for that coverage at all, so you don't have to worry about anything being out of pocket once you have that. And the way it typically works for most of our clients, what we do is we'll put $30 a day of coverage for up to 30 days. Now, the 30 days, that's a fixed item. We can't change the amount of coverage you have, but the amount, the dollar amount that you have each day for a rental car, we can change. We usually do $30 a day because that's going to be more than enough to get somebody into a full-size car. Let's say you have a minivan or an SUV with 3 rows of seats that you're transporting a lot of people frequently in, then you may want to up that coverage to either $40 a day or $50 a day of coverage just to make sure you're able to get into the size vehicle that you need. But for most people, $30 a day of coverage is pretty good. If we're adding that coverage to your policy, or if you're buying a new policy through Allstate, that's one of the discussions that we'll have as we go through the process. Just real quick, for those of you that have access to your declaration pages, I just pulled an example over here so you can take a look at that. You can see that it shows listed on this particular policy, they have a 2012 Toyota Sienna. Rental reimbursement has coverage for up to $30 a day for a maximum of 30 days. And you can see over here it lists the price for it, $20.87. That really doesn't vary much between policies at all. So it's really inexpensive coverage if it's something that you really need to have. If you got extra vehicles sitting around, or you have access to other vehicles that you can really easily use, you necessarily don't need to have that on your policy. But again, if you'd be up a creek without having a vehicle once it goes into the shop, then you definitely want to make sure you have that coverage on there. So if you have any questions or anything about that at all, please feel free to reach out to us and we can touch base on that. If you're wondering whether or not you have that on your policy, give us a call. You can check your declaration page. You can look on your app. You can look on the website, any of those things, or give us a call, shoot us a text, anything at all like that, and we can confirm you've got that for you or that you don't have that on your policy. So again, nice to talk to you guys, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.